Yeah, they're having me do this too. So welcome to Keep Your Slightly Larger Hat On. Bits and bobs the boys couldn't quite squeeze into just one hat. Where we're going, who the hell knows? But here it comes. So enjoy.
Like I say, we'll check, see what's happening with Ty. If not, we can always just reboot. If he comes in successfully, we'll go ahead and...
Did he say he's using Opera? Did I hear that right?
The Opera browser. Yeah.
I remember them.
Right?
What was the original one? Netscape. Netscape no longer available?
It was Netscape, which was on the back, and then later spawned Mozilla, which then later spawned Firefox. Firefox is still a going concern. They've been embraced by the EFF, Electronic Freedom people, and open source community.
Linux people, the open source people use it all the time.
Yeah, exactly. And it's got a lot of good to it. I have to be Chrome based for a number of reasons that, yeah, I understand about the privacy concerns, but I also run 2 VPNs, and I just don't care that much anymore.
No, and Google has enough data on us to where they don't need us anymore. They can triangulate from all the people we know to know
They can tell me how many pubic hairs I have. It's well beyond that at this point.
Yeah. See,
and my philosophy on privacy has evolved to the point of, and I've researched this extensively. I mean, yes, we're sitting in these huge data pools. But my bottom line philosophy is you're just not that interesting.
No, for the most part.
They don't care.
They just want to know what pictures of Amazon products to send you.
Yes.
For the most part.
You guys are probably old enough to remember back on the old Usenet, people always put shit in their signature files.
Yep.
To wait.
Oh,
it said,
God.
Hey Fort, remember Hey Fort Meade?
Yep.
Remember this?
Yeah.
And it's like, they don't care.
Yeah,
Nah.
yeah. Nobody. Oh, and the ever expanding signature file. I mean, people. That's when people.
Oh God, yeah.
And it's like, God, your signature is longer than your message. Knock it off.
I'm very happy, by the way, Mark. I'm very happy to see that you still use what to me is one of the all-time kings of signatures.
Seriously.
The shorter the tether, the faster the goat starves.
I still have no fucking idea where that's from. Because this goes back, everybody had cool, they had their little signature line. And I thought I need something clever. And I thought, oh, I know. The shorter the tether, the sooner the goat starves. And I swear to God, I saw this I believed I had seen this in something Plato wrote where he's talking about knowledge being like the extent of a tether at the end of which you have a goat, right? In knowledge, the further you extend the tether, the more you know. So I thought, oh, that's perfect. I have not been able to find that thing. I think I actually made it up. But I've always felt
if you did, my fez is off to you.
When I Google it, which we can, let's do
I've already got it up, and it's telling me I misspelled tether. It's trying to say that it's a teacher.
I think it'll still pull up some of my old inner, let's see.
Oh yeah, it will. It'll go back in the Wayback Machine.
Yeah, the Wayback Machine finds it. And this is weird too, because I found this Reality Sculptors. What the fuck is this? And it's like somebody actually uses it and attributes it to me.
Huh.
From 1999, Patrick Salisbury at sculptors.com uses it in his signature file. He quotes me in his fucking signature file.
Well, there you go then.
Weird, man.
You are immortal.
Mm-hmm. But it's like, this is why I can never run for any office, because it will dig me
Too
out
much dirt.
Out of the old Usenet, man.
Yep.
I posted in some questionably good groups,
I was involved in some in some groups on Usenet too. That probably come
some of
back
them.
to haunt.
Yeah, there are places where I would no longer trod.
I think GeoCities, who inherited it? Oh, look,
GeoCities, holy shit.
Yeah, GeoCities, what the dickens is that?
That's definitely gonna be put on the show under the Middle Ages.
The Middle Ages.
Four middle-aged guys talk about the birth of the interwebs.
Yeah, GeoCities. Oy. Whatever happened to MySpace? Do they still exist?
They got brought back at one point. It's very, very funny that you bring that up, because in going through my voluminous boxes of shit over the last couple pandemics, I got my past girlfriend Kate and I back about, I want to say it's 11 years ago, we went and saw the Sisters of Mercy at the Roseland Theater. And I happened to find that poster because Sisters of Mercy did not tour very regularly. So it's like one of my I was there things. But I'm looking up and I put this thing up on my wall that you guys can't see, but it's got a MySpace address on the bottom of it. And I'm
that was where musicians were all over.
Well,
that
that's where it came back as kind of a more limited focus towards music.
Yeah, they tried to be a vehicle for self-promotion of indie artists and things like that. And
they were so far behind the curve that.
Well, now you got me typing in MySpace.com.
You know, it's what was the best line I heard is it's just a giant empty amusement park.
Right.
That's basically what it was.
Yeah. Okay. It's telling me that their terms have changed and it's trying to get me to agree. And I'm just clicking closed.
Yeah. Not today.
Yeah. No. But
some of those Prodigy.
CompuServe.
CompuServe. Oh my gosh. Yeah.
My mother still has an AOL address, by the way. And it's like I told them, you know,
if you really want to dig back to the beginning of the internet and a big predictor of where it was going to go, because it really was kind of a microcosm of the internet as we know it today, was the well.
Oh yeah. Actually. Yeah, I thought you were going to go for Bianca's sex shack. Remember, she was like, you remember? It was like the very first, one of the first sites.
Yeah, and Danny's hard drive, Danny's hot box.
Oh my God. Yeah, she
Lord,
made quite a fortune.
She did. She was literally one of the pioneers of the internet, and it was like, oh wait, you can get porn on the internet and watching, waiting for the first line to go past where you start seeing nipple. And you know,
well, and I give, what were those? The binary groups on,
alt.binary. Where it's like,
all sorts of different.
I will go to bed tonight. Tomorrow morning, I'll wake up to a fresh picture.
I know.
Yes, exactly.
Well, and that's, you know, one of those things too, because, you know, I was an early adopter. My old man worked for, oh God, this is not going to be good. Robert just sent me a picture for some reason. So I wonder if it's him with a sledgehammer. What the hell? Oh my God. I know why he's having trouble. I'm gonna try to show this to you guys. Look at the top of this screen. That's his throughput on his Wi-Fi.
What in the hell has he got running?
Nothing.
Wow.
Yeah. What else have you got running, dude?
Tell him to shut off.
Did the Russian mob take over his? You know,
his router. He just said he's kicking over the router right now.
Good.
It's funny about the porn. So at some point early on in the UW colleges, when we finally got online. I think we'd been online for probably about 2 or 3 years. This is early on. I was on the committee that actually appropriated.
Yeah, I remember you were. Yeah.
So at some point, we finally hired a competent sysadmin, Kyle. And the first thing she did was she put sniffers, you know, to see what our traffic was.
Right.
And two-thirds of our servers had been taken over by porn sites.
Yeah. Well,
because nobody, you know.
I was still when I was writing for the UBIC. Chris, our student newspaper was called The Ubiquitous. And I did some research trying to find out what professors were looking at porn on their computer systems.
Nice.
Didn't really come up with anything, right? Yeah. No, some of us were already too seasoned and too smart for that shit.
Oh, no.
I think the worst that happened is I found that Mike Cahill was spending quite a bit of time playing SimCity on his office computer. That's pretty much the deepest amount of dirt that I found.
Yeah.
And I'm sure Rose was...
You kind of learned that as far as the internet went back then, professors were kind of boring.
Well, for the most part, pretty boring.
It turns out, fortunately.
Yeah, right?
Yeah, fortunately.
But... I remember...
Good credibility.
I remember trying to explain to Mike Thorne why I thought the internet was going to change the world. And that was a very short very short conversation.
Thorne for the rest of his, so this guy, Chris, was one of the best professors ever.
Oh, he was fantastic.
And he was an Oxford guy, and he had this, but he would just drawl that shit out like, oh. He was a Monty Python character a lot of the time. And I used to teach in the room next to him, and he needed hearing aids for years, and so you could hear him in the next room over me because he would talk so loud. Thorne couldn't type.
No.
And until the end of his career, he had the secretaries do his email because he couldn't fucking type. And it's like, he belonged to that generation just ahead of me, about a generation ahead of me, like 20 years ahead of me, who those guys, every one of those guys who's a professor, married their typist from their dissertation.
From back in the day.
Well, that certainly was more stuff. I guess. Keep Your Hat On is brought to you by the Narrowband Broadcast Network in conjunction with PodSquadPDX.com. If you've got ideas for the show, feel free to drop us a line at TalkBack@KYHOPodcast.com. And yeah, as always, again, don't forget to like, click, subscribe, etc., blah, 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 blah. You know the deal, but it really does help us out. So do it. I'm your announcer, Michael Brumage, and I am so not responsible. Until next time, for Rob, Chris, Dr. Mark, and of course, Andy, keep your head on. We may end up miles from here again.